Hi everybody, I'm John Finn, and welcome to an unboxing and review. We're back with Masters of the Universe Origins. This time we have from the evil Horde, the Horde Trooper, evil mechanical enforcer of Horde. Let's not waste too much time. Let's waste a little bit, though. Of course, this comes in that gorgeous, gorgeous Masters of the Universe Origins packaging, which really does recreate the classic packaging, the vintage classic. Vintage, I have to be careful and say vintage with this line. The vintage packaging so well, modern posing, retro play, and we come down and we see this vibrant, shiny dude here in the bubble. I'm really digging this. I'm excited to get him out and to test him out and stuff. And we turn around to the back. First things first, up here, what do we have? We've got Thunder Punch He-Man. So that's a pretty good indication that we'll get him eventually in the line. And the vintage figure for this guy came with caps, which were these little round things. I think it came with the round red ones where if you hit them with a sharp force, like a hammer or something, or a hammer mechanism, they make this popping sound and a little bit of smoke. So that's what this guy had in them. So hopefully that's an action feature I wouldn't mind them recreating, even though I'm all about not having the action features in most of these. You can see him hitting the Horde Troopers, and they're flying apart like putties in Season 2 of the Power Rangers TV show, and we can see Hordak looking on here, all evilly here in the corner. Look down, we can see his action feature is actually to hit that putty button there in the center of his chest, and he will fly open there, exposing his innards. And then we have the cross sale. We've got Sunman, we've got the Horde Trooper, we've got Clawful and Anti-Eternia He-Man. The only one of this wave that I don't have yet is Clawful, and if I see him in the store, I'll get him. He's just not one that I'm seeking out online. I'm just going to buy him if he comes out. But I have gotten Sunman and Anti-Eternia He-Man previously, and this Anti-Eternia He-Man is just one of my favorites of all time. But let's get this Horde Trooper open and take a closer look. All right, now that we've gotten him out of his package, you can see him in his glory. One thing I'm going to note first off is that in the original product description of him, he came with both the scepter and the crossbow, but he did not come with the crossbow, so keep that in mind if you're thinking about adding this guy to your collection. If that's a big deal to you, he might not be for you. That's not that big a deal to me. Okay, and here we've got the modular instructions, so he is just like almost every other figure from the Masters of the Universe Origins waves. You can remove his head, his arms, his legs at the waist, and his boots from the legs themselves. So he's got that modularity completely, which is friggin' awesome, because you can do all kinds of stuff like the Secret of the Sword. You can put He-Man's head there. I've got some comic book ideas I'm going to use with this guy. So that's pretty friggin' awesome. And also it comes with the same comic that came with Anti-Eternia He-Man and Sunman, which is Rulers of the Sun, Sunman Rises. And you get a quick story in here that involves all the figures in the wave, plus, you know, He-Man, because it's his line. There's Anti-Eternia He-Man being all cool and BA, and they're all kicking ass here. And then some man comes, and he's like, pow, and everything is going great again, and He-Man and him kick some ass for Eternia. On the back, again, you've got the cross sale. That's pretty friggin' awesome. It's got some pretty sweet art here on the front. I'm pretty excited about that. And I'm hoping I get Clawful just so I can make something of these comics, but we'll talk about that at a later date. Okay, now on to the figure himself. He does have the same articulation as the rest of the line, which means his feet can go forward, back. He can go side to side. He can rock a little bit, but the boots come down a little bit over the ankles, so it does limit it slightly. He's got the boot swivel. He's got boot swivel and knee swivel, excuse me. And of course, he has hips that can go forward, back, out. He has a waist that he can spin around. His arms will go up, his arms will go down. They bend at the elbow, they swivel and bend at the wrist, and his head actually has full movement as well. I didn't expect it to actually be that movable, but I guess if it is on that same ball joint, it would have to be. So that's pretty friggin' sweet. Now, one thing about him, though, is that the action feature is supposed to be activated here, and it kind of works. But what actually works better is this. just moving his arm awkwardly will do it every time. Let's see if we can get it back together there. Yeah, so boom. Like just a little bit of pressure on it and it pops open pretty easy. So if you're posing this guy and stuff, you're going to want to be careful as you move that arm around because that will pop open just without warning there. That's something to keep in mind. But as we look at him closely, he's got some pretty great detail. And this is an entirely new sculpt. I don't think there are any reused parts in this guy. Of course, he was released as a part of a Comic-Con. There was a black and red one, I believe. We're getting the silver one in the just regular Origins release. You can see some sculpt here. He's, of course, got the Horde icon there on his chest. Some little computer parts here. The arms have got like straps and rivets and things like that. As we spin around to the back, you've got some pretty good back definition, really, and a little button where you can see where the chest fits together there. It's the little peg for this thing here. Get him back together there. He's got some computer parts there on his butt. He's got pretty cool looking like crotch area. Like it's got some really great detail in there. Oh man, it's got rivets, it's got vents and shit. And then we come down to the thighs again. Just really great detail all up and down this guy. His little scepter is no different. Like, look, his little scepter almost has a six-pack on its own, y'all. That's pretty friggin' sweet. And it's got nice wings, a little wingerling dragon there. And let me pull it out of his hand here so you can see. It's got a nice little riveted handle with texture there. Come down to the bottom. It's got some more technobabble stuff. Looks like it's from the Masters of the Universe live action movie. And it does only come with the hand sculpts that he's equipped with. So you get one holding hand and one fist. So that's what you get in terms of custom fodder for this guy. But I like this guy. This is a sweet little figure, and it's a friggin' perfect army builder. This is one of two army builders that I'm planning on collecting more of this guy. And I honestly think the pig head from the Rulers of the Sunline looks like he would be a great generic like army guy. And you could like bend the tusks in different ways using a heat gun. But that's later, much later this year. We'll talk about it then. And knowing Big Bad Toy Store, it's going to be early next year instead. I like this guy. I hope this told you whether or not it's something you want to add to your collection. And if you're a Masters of the Universe Origins person, this guy has to be a part of it. Because, I mean, he's completely different from the others. Great for custom fodder, if nothing else, but also great for just having great battles with a lot of visceral action and stuff like that. With his pull-apart action feature. Oh, man, I got killed by the He-Man. That's what he looks like inside. Anyway, I hope you keep collecting the way you like to collect, whether that's keeping your figures mock, opening for display or for play, however you like to do it is the right way to do it. And if anybody else tells you otherwise, tell them you're going to send an army of Horde Troopers after them in their sleep to slaughter their family and bring woe upon them all. Thanks, guys. Remember, like and subscribe. Bye.